I think it's also, I always say it takes a village to run a family, it takes a village to run a business, it takes a village to do pretty much anything. Everybody always has to have a village behind them. Think about when kids are little, Ashley, carpooling, anything else, you always want to have that village. And I feel like the businesses do not know that you guys are a free resource.
Welcome back to Brew Talks. I'm Steve Stroud. I'm President and CEO of Roswell Inc, the economic development organization in the city of Roswell.
And I'm Ashley Allen, Director of Operations for Roswell Inc, and we have two amazing guests with us today.
Amazing.
They are both community connectors for our organization, which you're about to learn a lot more about. But we have Tracy Moore. Most of Roswell, I think, knows her. She is with Rev Local, a Haibu company. And then we have insurance guy Joe. Thank you guys for both being on with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome to have you guys. I've known you both for quite a while. You're both entrepreneurs. You're both local people. Tell us a little bit about your businesses and how you market it, because one of the reasons you're a connector for Roswell Inc is because you do connect. You connect with businesses, the community, you bring people together, and that's one of the qualities that we feel like we share with the community from Roswell Inc is connecting people, not just people that just lived here or just moved in, but people that, have been here for years and you're like, hey, where do I get X or where do I find Y? And, what does that look like? So tell us a little bit. I'm going to start ladies first, though.
Okay.
Start with Tracy.
Well, you asked me to be one. No, I'm teasing.
I did.
So we've talked about this for a long time. So I think with my job of doing digital marketing for businesses, I'm constantly out meeting new business owners. I see the coming soon sign. Those are much more fun to see than the closing soon sign. So with me meeting with business owners every day for years, and I've been doing this for over 12 years in the community, they've always asked me two top questions is how do I get involved in the community and how do I get people to walk in my door? So I've always been able to say, well, I can help you to get them walking in your door because I can help you get found online, get better, presence online so people know you're here in Roswell. And as far as the community, for years, I directed them to the business partners at the schools because that was my first volunteer job. So with lacrosse or football or gymnastics or however it needs to be as a business partner for the amazing schools in North Fulton in Roswell. And then you approached me when I became an empty nester most recently and said, hey, I'd love to have you part of our connecting team. And so now I just kind of lead it to that direction through Roswell Inc. and through everything you guys do here. And I just think there's so many businesses that don't even know you guys exist.
Yep,
I know we have
solve that problem.
Yes, we have a little friendly competition with me, Ashley, and Brooke and Morgan on who can get to them first. But you guys you're 3 or 4 people, and you just can't be everywhere at every time. And it's just natural for me because I'm out there anyway. So to me, it's just like a natural volunteer job.
It's awesome. You want to tell them a little bit, the audience, a little bit about what a connector does?
Yeah, so our community connectors are our team of volunteers. We couldn't do, like you said, as a team of 4, everything we do without you. You really are an extension of our team, not only helping us to put on these events that help connect businesses, but also because you're in your professional role, you're out there meeting with all these businesses. You have the perfect opportunity to meet with those people who aren't familiar with Roswell Inc yet and say, hey, do you know about this group? You're just starting to get your business open. They might be able to help you, or your business has been established for years, but you're looking at how to gain more business and get more rooted in the community. And we can really be that avenue for a lot of businesses, but as we're a small and mighty team, but we can only do so much. And so we started with our community connectors really quite early on in our organization. Born out of that was our Coffee Connect series. And then it really, the team of people that we are at about 12 or so individuals now. As it grew, the involvement in our organization with you guys grew as well. So we can only do what we do with our team of amazing volunteers. So Joe, tell us, first of all, if everyone doesn't know, Joe is known for his amazing jokes. So I need a joke to get us rolling here, and then tell us about what you do.
Well, have you heard about the new sport called quiet tennis?
No.
It's similar to the old sport, just without all the racket. So,
Racket.
I love it.
and what was the other one?
Yeah, just tell us a little bit about, I kind of explained what our community connectors do, but tell us a little bit about your role, in insurance.
Oh, well, in insurance.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife and I are a team. We're licensed in 41 states nationwide, but Georgia's our home. So the bulk of our business is in Georgia, but, 20% across the rest of the country. And just been doing it for almost 8 years now. We thoroughly love what we do. We're all about educating our clients on the different options that are available to them. Not just, anyone can give you quotes. And there's a certain...
And it's health insurance, right?
Right, it's health
Yeah.
insurance. Individuals, families, small business owners, and we specialize in... we treat each person and everyone we're working with as an individual, and then it's not just about rushing them into something, it's about diagnosing their situation.
Right.
Right, because everybody's different, right? We all have different needs. What I place value on is not something that you might place a value on, Steve, right? Or Tracy, right? We all want different things out of the health coverage. So oftentimes, when you're hearing people say, "Oh, I hate my health insurance," it may not be the insurance they hate. They might just be in the wrong plan.
Right. Wrong
Right.
carrier, wrong, yeah.
Right. It's not working for them the way they expect it to when they need it most. And that's what we specialize in, is identifying what is most important for you. What do you want out of that coverage? So that when you're using it, that's
makes
not your
sense.
complaint.
Well, and you've been in business for a long time. You had a previous business here in Roswell, the Ghost Tours, and you and your wife had a very successful business there. But like we do, Tracy runs into it every day. One of the biggest challenges small businesses have in Roswell and throughout the country is health insurance. And that begins to be a much, much bigger conversation, right? That we can't solve here today, for sure. But having the right resources and having somebody like yourself that has owned their own business, understands what that looks like, the fact that you can have somebody that's in your community say, yeah, maybe not that carrier, but let's look at these carriers. And, because it is a very personal thing. Health insurance is very personal, right? And it's also personal in the sense of, I'm not working for corporate anymore, so I can't get those great benefits. But yes, you can, right? And that's one of the things that, as a small business person was a struggle. And so just being able to take some of that pressure off some of these businesses so that they can worry about marketing and, as I always say, making bagels or cooking Mexican, whatever it takes, right, to get the business in the door. They need people like yourself. So we do really appreciate the fact that you all are on the ground and you're accessible.
I think it's also, I always say it takes a village to run a family. It takes a village to run a business. It takes a village to do pretty much anything. Everybody always has to have a village behind them. Think about when kids are little, Ashley, carpooling, anything else. You always want to have that village. And I feel like the businesses do not know that you guys are a free resource, a free village, right? To help them.
Support.
Whether or not they need a business license, an occupancy license, it's probably the number one question I get all the time.
Where do I go?
Is where do I go and how do I do this and what comes first, or what about a liquor license, or how do I get a signage and how do you know how long my temporary sign can be? And because I've asked these questions and introduced to you guys so long, I know some of them myself. So I know a tiny bit to be dangerous, but I'm always like, let me go call my volunteer bosses and my experts and see really what you have. But I just think that it's also between the connectors. If a business owner comes to me and needs insurance, and I know Joe really well, and I've known him for years, his youngest and my oldest went to school together, then I feel comfortable referring to him and vice versa. And so it's also another way of just, trying to keep business in Roswell as well.
Oh, yeah.
And so I feel like small businesses always want to support other small
other.
businesses. And when you can keep it in your home in Roswell, then why not? And so I think that's a huge resource that I think is missing. And so you need as many mouths as possible to say it.
Well, and Ashley, we were talking to a prospect this morning, and Ashley said they're coming from Michigan, And their conversation was like, we really like this town. And I said, well, you know what? And Ashley made it really, really clear. This is the smallest 100,000 people village you can find. It is the 8th largest city in the state of Georgia. But I can tell you, you can walk anywhere in this city, east, west, north, or south, and it still feels like a small village. And there's a compliment there.
I think it's why small business thrives so much here is the fact that people in this community are very supportive of the businesses that are here and of their neighbors. And I mean, it's why we did so well during COVID is people rallied behind the small business community. And so I'm always telling people, like, just get connected. Even if we're talking about, you know, coming to, you know, maybe a networking group that you're like, but I don't think I would have any prospective customers there. It doesn't matter. Just build your network because through that, Roswell is a word of mouth community. Get the word out about your business. Get the word out about,
Tell
you know,
people
what you do or, you know, what you're looking for. And people just kind of work their magic here in Roswell.
Well, and I think Joe said it too. We've talked about this before, being both small business, all of us. At the end of the day, what we try to do at Roswell Inc is take it to that next level. Why is it important to have small businesses to support the hospital, to support GM, to support Kimberly-Clark? Why does that all work together? Because understanding the dynamics of the hospitality industry, how important that those 5,000 plus workers are to our city, so that we have great restaurants to go out to, and helping understand that it's not just chasing a dollar. It's a bigger picture of connecting all the pieces that go into this organic thing we call economic development, which again, is part of the fun
term
for
that
us.
we've heard a lot thrown around for the last couple of years is ecosystem when it comes to talking about economic development, and it really is. It all works together. I mean, everything that makes Roswell attractive to live here, it's all a part of just what is making it thrive. I mean, having the small businesses and walkability and the kind of local mom and pop and restaurant industry, I mean, those are all the foundation of what makes it attractive for large corporate headquarters like General Motors and Vestas and Kimberly-Clark. So, when you really start thinking of it like an ecosystem, you see how everything is interconnected and starts to work together.
Well, and the other thing that always surprises me is the number of, we'll say, insurance guys and gals that sell it, but how well they all work together in this community, because y'all know each other, right? So it's not a competition, right? It's not us
It's better
against them.
supporting the
Absolutely.
customers better.
That's right.
I mean,
Better
I partner
product.
all the time with some of the same people in this area. Bonnie's a connector with us.
Bonnie Malden,
Mike
absolutely.
Thomas. I mean,
Yep.
we all support
Mike's a
together.
great
And
one.
so if you can't help somebody, then the best thing to do is refer to another person that you know and you trust that's
right.
going to take care of that client just like you would yourself.
Makes a
And then
big
sometimes
difference.
you can partner still. So maybe instead of just giving it away to a stranger or having that person frustrated to go find another insurance person or another marketing person, it's better to have two is better than one, right?
That's
And then
right.
you come in from both angles and then they get extra support, which is so important. I just still think that businesses don't know, but I don't think the community knows what you do. And you know that from my husband. When I started volunteering, he's now paid attention and gone to support Steve and hearing different things and taking notes, and so impressed with some of the taxes that come back and fund some of the amazing programs you have.
Yep.
And so to me, if you can't possibly, don't always need one, but a megaphone to like scream how wonderful you guys are, that I've never had one negative thing in anybody I've ever referred you to of handling it. The only negative thing was, I wish you would have told me about them sooner.
And sometimes that's the way it
We
plays
get that
out.
a lot.
We get that a lot.
Where were you a week ago,
Yeah,
right?
we needed you last week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Joe, talk to us about the insurance industry. We have to jump in because it's a topic of subject all the time. It's the beginning of a year. Everybody's either signed on or getting ready to sign on to a new plan or whatever. What's the future look like? Obviously, our largest industry in the city of Roswell is medical care, right? And the hospital drives a lot of that. But beyond the hospital, it takes a village again in the medical side, and it's something that's not going to go out of style.
Right. Well, it's hard to say at this point, how it's changing in the near future. However, things, any business changes over time, right?
Cycles.
So you hope it changes for the better. Sometimes it doesn't, but I think there's going to this year, the next couple of years should be an exciting time for health insurance options. Now, when most people think of health insurance, the first thing that comes to mind is either corporate, right, health insurance through an employer, or the open enrollment, right,
Yes.
individual exchange. The reality is open enrollment ended back on the 15th for Georgia. In most other states across the country, but it doesn't mean that insurance is done, right? There's
Still goes
there's
on.
so many people that have been working with that, they're whether they're choosing to retire early or the companies are, laying people off, high earners that have been around a while, whatever, but they don't want to stop working, right? So they're starting their own businesses and they're looking for health insurance.
We're seeing a lot of that.
Right, or their kids are turning 26, right, and they need to help them get health insurance. So it's a great thing year round, which like I said, I love doing. My wife and I, we love helping people because the best compliment we get is a referral. But it's also when you hear people say, "I had no idea,"
Right.
right, that this was an option, or "Oh my goodness." The whole thing that got me into it was years ago. When I left UPS back in 2017, after 20 years, I was looking for other employment, but about 30 days into that search, I got that wonderful letter in the mail that said, "Hey, congratulations, you no longer have health insurance. You can get COBRA for a small mortgage payment." And I was like,
Yeah.
Beach house.
right? And I made that mistake that I tell people nowadays. I thought I could do it. I went online. Oh, I can do this myself. Put my information in, and my phone, started ringing and didn't stop for 4 or 5 years, right? I mean,
And your head was spinning.
right. And then
Yeah.
at that point, you're just trying to get the phone calls to stop. So you make a decision, and it's more than likely it's not the right one, right? So like anything, I say work with a professional,
Yeah.
right? Somebody
Yeah, that's the
that you
key.
trust, and if you can get a referral for somebody, work
It's
with
even
those.
better.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Tracy, I have to ask you this. Digital marketing, I hear that a lot. Now, we know in this room that you're more than digital marketing because you're always connecting people. Tell us what digital marketing means to you for a business.
I mean, to me, I think it's our foundation. So, we build websites and a lot of companies build websites, but it's your Google listing. It's your home of your business,
Where it
right?
sits.
It's your storefront. It's the door. It's your sign on your business online. And so it hosts your website. It hosts your reviews and reputation. It hosts photos of your business, your hours of operation. I mean, we've talked about COVID, but, even holidays, or we had the snow, keeping up with the hours of operation online sounds
key.
so simple, but it would so frustrate somebody who would try to come there if you were closed or not responding. So business owners, they get hit on by a lot of people all day long. They get hit on by insurance folks and they get hit on by marketing people all day long. But we're the small part of it, right? They get hit on for payroll, credit cards, everything else. So I think it's just who they can trust and who they know can support them and who's backed by really amazing services like Joe offers and we offer. So I think that's what really helps them. And it takes it into social media as well. I mean, a true success story, and it was literally just happened 3 days ago. It was on Roswell Moms on a Facebook page, and somebody posted on there that said, "Do you have any connections with the city? I'm trying to open up a business in Roswell. I need help, and I don't even know where to go." So I responded and I said, "Hey, I would absolutely love to help you. It's my volunteer job. I work with Roswell Inc. I'm one of the community connectors. I've got a whole bunch of resources that I might be able to answer these questions for, but if not, I can get you to the right spots." And then I just simply left it like that. I said, "I will private message you my phone number." Well, like 5 people commented and said, "Tracy Moore does great. She helps with businesses and digital marketing," which is great. I didn't even say what I did. I just went to help her as a resource. And so she messaged me, and then I hooked her up with Brooke and Morgan and Ashley, and then I even
Awesome.
hooked her up with some people at the city that I knew.
Love
And
it.
she commented back on Facebook and said, "You guys are so right. Tracy helped me with her team." I think they put the team, so you guys are my team now. But Tracy helped me with her team in more. I got more information in this hour conversation with Tracy and a couple emails that she connected me to than in the last 3 weeks. Thank you so much.
Wow.
And it might not be
it.
the news that she wants to hear in some things, but
Power
at the
of
same
digital.
time, it just
Very nice.
helps you. So
Sure it
digital
does.
marketing could be positive in social media and it could be
Yep.
negative at the same way. It's
Yep.
just how you have to look in life. It's kind of like what technology can't live with, it can't live without it. It's
Yeah.
just how it's used, and
How
it could be used for such great resources.
Well, it's your 24-hour a day business card,
Yep.
right? And it's always on, always on. So, yeah, it's got to be right? They got to be able to find you. So. Well, thank you both for coming on first, and thank you most importantly for being community connectors and doing what you do in the community for Roswell Inc.
Yeah.
We do appreciate it, and it doesn't go unnoticed. We appreciate all the opportunities that we have to interact with you, and we just hope that 2025 is nothing but the best for both of you. So,
Thank you.
as we
Love
always say,
Roswell.
it's a great day to do business in Roswell. Cheers.
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 Cheers. Thanks for having us.
Yes,
Absolutely.
thank you.